Hey guys, what's going on? Coach Jason. So now we're kind of approaching a new barrier here. And what I mean by that is two things. Okay? Talking about 9 minutes per mile today, but it's also the first barrier that gets you a sub 4 hour marathon. In this case, it's 3:56 for the marathon if you're running 9 minutes per mile. So I've done 10 minutes per mile and 9:30 per mile. They're in the description below. You'll also see fully detailed marathon programs. The first one will be after this video. Or in the attachment after this video pops, it's going to be a sub 4 hour marathon training program. And as we get faster, I'll put a sub 3:30, a sub 3 hours, and a sub 2:30 marathon. So you can follow along and use the workouts that you see on these boards to plug into the marathon program, but also give you a fully detailed marathon training program that you could look at, compare to your own, or follow and just make modifications for individualized needs. But it just gives you more options, okay? And you'll have workouts here every 2 videos. I make a little bit of modification in the video. So the first 2 videos, 10 minutes and 9:30 per mile, there's a consistent pattern of workouts. This one and then the next one, 8:30 per mile, they'll be similar, but a little bit different from the last one. As you progress, the workouts will either become a little bit longer, a little bit more specific, a little bit more intense in areas, so that as you're getting fitter and more experience, so does the work itself. As long as everything is gradual, as long as you're able to adapt to it on a regular basis. And that's where kind of periodization comes in, and adapting to training, and kind of the philosophy behind how to lay out a marathon training program. And that's also why I put out fully detailed programs, so you could see how things are broken down in 4-week blocks, so that you have time to adapt, or your athletes have time to adapt if you're a coach, and so on. So it gives you an idea on how things are laid out. So if you're a coach or a runner who is either aspiring to be a coach or self-coached, whatever it is, this channel's for you. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time here. I've got fully detailed training programs, over 200 videos on training from the half mile all the way up to the marathon, and workouts galore, all different types of things. And I'm going to continue doing that. And I'm speaking from 2 decades plus experience. I'm also a USATF certified coach, and I've competed and coached at the high school, college, and post-collegiate level. So what I'm talking about is it's stuff that I've used from experience, and I've learned over some of the best coaches, from some of the best coaches in the world for the last 2 decades, and come up with my own multi-tier training program. So with that said, why don't we go over here, okay? And we'll get you over to the whiteboard so you can see the details, okay? Let's get that here. Let's get that glare out of there a little bit, if we can. All right. So remember, the focus today is 9 minutes per mile for the marathon, 3:56 on the nose, okay? So sub 4 hour marathon, and this gives you some cushion so that you're not trying to run 3:59:30, okay? This gives you some cushion because in a marathon, there is a deceleration that happens at some point for most folks, and you have to be ready for that. And you got to be able to make adjustments, but you also need to know what it feels like to be in certain points of a run, and so that your body isn't learning about it in a marathon. And what I mean by that is long runs and certain workouts and such. We'll get to that shortly. But talking about the first workout, hill sprints, okay? Hill sprints are a great way of building leg speed, leg power, okay? It's also a little bit more forgiving on the legs, particularly if you can find a softer surface, whether it's grass or dirt or a trail, and you have a nice steep hill about 100 to 150 meters long, okay? And you do 6 to 8 reps. You attack these uphills. You stay upright, lean into the hill, pump your arms and pump your legs, but you're attacking these vigorously. And then you can get a full recovery. You can walk down, jog down, whatever you prefer to do. And this can either be used as a workout itself in between a warm-up and a cool-down, or it could be on a day that's after a short recovery run. That's up to you, whatever your preferences are. Okay, so that's workout number 1. Number 2, we're going to complement that with some flat speed development components, and both of these are important. You need to know what it feels like to accelerate on the uphills, even the downhills, which are a little bit different, and the flats, okay? In this regard here, we're doing 150 to 200 meter flat sprints, okay? This could be on grass, dirt, track, a road, whatever you have available and whatever your preferences are. And again, road, track, dirt, grass, any of those options, you do 6 to 8 reps, the same amount of reps, but since they're on the flats, they're a little bit longer. But in this case, you do a jog equal recovery. So if you're on a track, you do a 200, you jog a 200, and so on. Or if you do 150, you jog a 150. Or jog walk. And again, this could also be a workout sandwiched in between a warm-up and a cool-down, or after a short recovery run of some sort. But I would encourage you to do hill sprints and flat sprints every week. Okay, there's got to be some component of speed development no matter what phase you're in, whether you're in base phase, building your base to transition into the marathon, or a marathon training program as well. It's a constant development of your speed over time. Okay. Third, the SemiLong Run. This is a run that's about 75% of what the long run would be. So, at max. Okay. Again, you need to know what it feels like to be out there for an extended period of time in a continuous run. Not only does a long run do that, but a semi-long run does that too. And if you can fit both of them in either a 1 week period or a 2 week period, that's a good thing. Okay? That's a good thing. And again, training the body to be out in an extended period of time. And in this case, let's just say it's 9 to 10 miles. Okay? We're building that long run up over time. Okay? Easy to progressive. So it could be an easy run, about a minute. Let's say it's about 10 minutes per mile. Or you could be progressing from, let's say 10:30 to 9 minutes over the course of the run. Okay? From about 90 seconds slower than marathon pace towards marathon pace. So, and again, it'll be a nice aerobic run. And it won't turn anaerobic, but it'll start to reach threshold if you kind of get towards marathon pace. So, that's workout 3. Workout 4, you're actually doing some rep work. Okay? In this case, it's 800 meter reps with a 2-minute recovery, okay? And again, this is a repeatable workout, okay? This is work that you can do 4 times. So let's say you do a 16-week training program, you do these every 3 weeks. If you do a 12-week training program, you do them every 2 weeks. If you do a 20-week training program, you do them every 4 weeks. Okay, the first time you do 4 reps, okay? You do with a 2-minute recovery, actually in between a warm-up and a cool-down, obviously, and you're doing 4 of them in 356 to 353. So the pace for the marathon is a starting pace for your 800s. So if 9-minute pace gets you 356, the 800 meter reps start at 356, and you work down to 353. Okay? So yes, it's quite a bit faster. It's about 5K pace around there. It's quite a bit faster than marathon pace, but there's a reason behind the workout. This is it is a component of speed development as well, but for longer reps. Okay? The next time you do the workout, you go for 6 reps. The next time you go for 8, and the last time you go for 10 reps. And if you're building to that point where you're able to do all those reps at those paces, then it's a good sign of progression. Not every workout, it's not like you're doing a workout 3 or 4 times and you get faster each time. This is another way of progressing your fitness as well, both of which are important. Okay, so again, 800 meter reps, 2-minute recovery, active recovery, and you go from 4 to 6 to 8 to 10 reps over time. Okay, you make adjustments as you need to. The goal pace is 356 to 353 per rep. Okay, which is essentially 752 to 746 per mile. Okay? And lastly, one of the meat and potato workouts is the long run. Now keep in mind too, I say this in all my videos, particularly if you're running a marathon or half marathon, to get an idea what the course looks like. Go look at the course map, contact them if it's not available, whichever race you're running, because if the course is rolling, then it's going to be a good idea to simulate some of your runs and workouts over rolling area. If it's on the flats, then it's a good idea to simulate your long runs and other workouts on the flats. On the flats obviously helps you lock into pace much easier, okay? Rolling, obviously there's a fluctuation in pace, but it also, you're doing the long runs and some of the workouts helps you get accustomed to that. Also helps you get accustomed to the different feel, because a hilly race at 20 miles is a little bit different than a flat race at 20 miles. Different feeling in the legs. Both of them are tough, obviously, but speaking from experience, even a New York City marathon, it's pretty much 26 miles of rolling hills. And if you're not ready for it, it catches up to you. So a rolling long run helps you not only prepare for a rolling race, or helps you simulate a rolling race, but it also helps build a significant fortress of strength for a flat marathon, recovering from it afterwards and continuing going after that. And again, you can progress from, there's 2 ways to do it as well. You can progress from 10:30 to 9 minutes per mile. This should be 9 minutes. Okay, my fault there. And again, 90 seconds slower than marathon pace, progressing towards marathon pace. Okay, or you can do the long run at 90 to 95%, and in this case it's about 10:15 to 9:45. 75 seconds to about 45 seconds slower per mile than marathon pace. Okay, so there's a lot of ways that you can do these runs. But incorporating race pace in some of it and doing it as a progression is a great way of doing it as well. and this is another great way of doing it. And then you can sandwich in speed development, which is going to make the pace of the runs feel easier, and the strength you build from this is going to make the workouts feel easier, and the speed workouts feel more fluid. They all complement each other, okay? And again, like I had mentioned, simulate the course as often as you can. Figure out what the course is like. Even workouts too. If you're doing a marathon where the hills are at the end, you can design workouts where if you're doing 800-meter reps, the hill is at the end. Each time. Helps you simulate as much as possible. If the hill's in the beginning, you can do reps with the hills in the beginning. There's a lot of different ways you can simulate. So, and the same goes for the long run itself. And again, it's a great way of building strength, no matter what. So, these are the 5 workouts to help you achieve a 9-minute pace or a sub 4-hour marathon. Take a look at the sub 4 marathon training plan below, and a bunch of other marathon training workouts on 5K and 10K and half marathon. Everything's in the description, and 200 plus videos out there. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I highly encourage you to do that. If you enjoy this video, please hit the thumbs up, and please share this with other coaches and athletes. You know, I want to continue making these free videos, so sharing them and subscribing to the channel really, really helps me do that. And so I also greatly appreciate it, but I want to kind of get this out to as many folks in the running community as possible. My goal is to serve the running community, and because it's been really good to me, so I want to share this information with as many folks as possible. It doesn't matter if you're world class or beginner. Doesn't matter. You should have access to good content either way. So I appreciate you watching. Be safe, train hard. Talk to you next time.